Greetings, Fry High artists. Today we are going to be learning about block printing. So for block printing you will need a few tools. The first tool is a gouge. You'll need a piece of paper, a pencil, a block to print on, a brayer to roll the ink with, and ink and a inking plate. Here I have hot pink ink. You will have a multitude of colors. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to draw my image on my piece of paper. I am using a pencil and I'm going to press kind of hard so that the lines are kind of dark. If you do not know what you want to do or you're practicing, you can draw light, but then later on you're going to have to trace your lines to make them a little bit darker. So I'm going to draw a succulent because I really like the way that the needles on a cactus translate to printmaking. They make really neat little V's that capture texture. So I'm drawing a cactus here and adding all the different elements of the cactus with the flower and the needles and different things. So once I have finished drawing my cactus, I am going to take my printing plate and then I'm going to flip my cactus over and I am going to, using my pencil, just color on the back of my cactus. This will transfer the pencil drawing on the front of my paper onto my block so that I have an exact replica of what I drew. So when you do this, it will transfer. Now, the thing about block printing is you do not ever want to use numbers or letters because, for example, the letter B, if you were to make it, when it prints, it becomes the letter D because it is a mirror image. So I strongly encourage you to stay away from numbers or letters. Yes, there are some numbers and letters that are the same both forwards and backwards, such as A or O. However, I think that it's best that we just use an image. Something from nature, something that interests us, something that we find beautiful. So here I am with my image all traced, and I traced over it again using the pencil so my lines were darker. Now, when you use a gouge, this is very, 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 very important. A gouge is like a knife. If you notice, my fingers are not anywhere near where I could cut them. They are always behind where I am cutting. I am always cutting away from myself. I'm not cutting towards myself, I'm cutting away from myself. So if I were to slip, I am not going to cut myself. Now, if you press harder, you get a thicker, deeper line. If you press lighter, the line is less thick. So as I cut out my cactus, I'm utilizing all these skills. You also have both a front and a back to your printing block that will print the same. If you think you are scared and need some practice, please, please, please practice on the back of your block. This will allow you to understand how it works while having the front with your image to do it. You could even do the same image 2 times so you can have a better understanding of how to print it. So here I am just carving all the different pieces and the different parts of my image away. I'm being very careful, and this is a process that will probably take you a whole day. You also can stab it to try to create a circle, but as you can see from what I'm doing here, it actually works out better if you just move the plate around in a circle-like direction. So, that is what I found on circles 3 and 4 works best. I have finished carving my plate, I am ready to print it. First, I add some ink to my printing plate, and then I roll the ink forward and backwards using my brayer. Then I roll the ink on top of my printing plate, going both up and down and side to side, making sure to cover the whole plate. Once I have inked my plate, I am then going to place a piece of paper on top of my plate and rub it using my fingers. I am printing mine using a small piece of paper, but you are going to print 4 to 6 times using a much bigger paper so that you can addition it. And I pull my paper back and voila, I have my first print. I look forward to seeing what you create. Happy printing!